Hey guys, all right, do you hate confrontation? Like, do you get weird setting boundaries? Because if you do, I really want you to tune in and check this out because I have a feeling this is going to change everything for you. Okay, here's the deal with setting boundaries and confrontation. It makes us feel so insecure. Like just a quick hands up or leave a comment or give me a thumbs up or something. If you have a hard time creating boundaries in your life, especially if you're a mom, or confrontation, because I want to help you out with that. And I think we can, as usual, find our help in the example that Jesus set for us. So here's the deal. This is one concept I really want you to get in your head right now. Just this one thought, one sentence that I really want you to get in your head right now. And here's the sentence. I am always training people on how to treat me. So think about that for a minute. I am always training people on how to treat me. So we are always, whether you're mom or dad or in your workplace, in your home, whatever, you are constantly, even when you don't realize it now, you are constantly training people on how you should be treated. When we don't set boundaries, and personally, I don't think it's necessarily like setting boundaries. And I'll tell you what I mean by that. And I personally don't even really think you ever need confrontation. Now, I know this flies in the face of all the philosophy that says, here's how to set your boundaries and here's how to handle confrontation. But I do things a totally different way. I do things the way that God says. So sometimes that flies in the face of conventional wisdom. But I think this is going to help you out. Because if you hold the thought that we are constantly, no matter where we are, no matter what we're doing, we are constantly training people on how to treat us, then we never have to set boundaries. We're showing them where our boundaries are by how we act toward them, by how we receive them or don't receive them, by our mannerisms, by even our subconscious energy toward them. So for example, if you're a mom and you feel like, your kids don't respect you or they step over you, it's because you've trained them on how to do that. You might think, Hannah, no way, I haven't. Actually, you have. They wouldn't be that way if you had not trained them. So for example, if it's like, hey, you need to clean up your room, okay? And then you go in there and you clean it for them. What you're teaching your child is that actually what I don't mean what I say, because I will come back and clean it for you. So don't take what I say as truth. So when we are not consistent as a parent, we're not consistent as an employee or, in our business, in our home, what we're teaching those people around us is that don't take my word. I don't operate in integrity. I don't speak truthfully. I will do those things I say I won't do. Like, that's just the truth of it. So we're actually training them on how not to believe us. So if we set boundaries, if we don't have that energy of executing it, say no, like, I told you to clean your room, dude. Like, put your phone away till it's done. Like that I'm not going to go in there and clean it up. Then they're understanding, oh, wait a minute. She's a person of integrity. She's honest. She follows through. She means what she says. So we're training our children. We're training our coworkers. We're training everyone on how to treat us, including our spouse. We're always training them on how to treat us. For example, if, let's say they're too late at the office, right? They said they were going to come home and they come home late and then we get angry and frustrated. We're teaching them, hey, I am going to respond adversely to you. Not that what they did was good either. They're training the other person on how not to believe it when they say they're going to come back in time. So do you see what I mean? But we have to hold this thought that I'm training them on how to treat me. Now, let me show you how this looks in Jesus's life. For example, when he saw the temple being mistreated, and he saw that there were money changers in there that were taking advantage of the people who are going in there to offer sacrifices. They were taking advantage of it. They were operating for profit, profiting in a very subversive way, in a very, like, they were cheating the people. And he's like, no. He didn't mind turning over tables because he was showing, like, no, this isn't how you treat the temple. This is how you treat my Father's house, right? When the disciples woke him up, When he was asleep on the boat, the disciples woke him up. I was like, don't you care that we're all gonna perish? He actually rebuked the disciples. First, he rebuked the wind and the waves, but then he rebuked the disciples. He said, have I been with you so long, and you still don't know how to operate in faith? So he was saying, look, by his energy, he was saying, look, I'm not here to do it for you. I'm here to show you how to do it. I'm here to instruct you. So, for example, like if we are, like that's how Jesus was with his disciples. Like he was like, look, you need to start stepping up to this and you need to start operating with faith. As a mom, as a parent, or with employees, if we always go back through and do the job for them, then we're like, you know what? You don't have to come through. You don't have to operate with integrity. It's okay if you're dependent on me. And that's not good. We are supposed to be training up those people around us to be independent, to flourish independently of us. So what I'm saying is if you have a hard time with confrontation, and if you have a hard time setting boundaries, what you're actually saying is, I really don't know how I'm supposed to be treated. Seriously, like think about that. If you really get honest with yourself and say, how do I want this world to treat me? Then you will carry yourself with a respectful manner. You will assert yourself with a tangible energy that tells the world, like, I'm not one to be messed with. I know who I am. I know whose I am. I know what is possible for me. I know how I operate. So get out of the way or join me, because I'm not going to accommodate the weaknesses that make me think I have to make things easier for you. I know that sounds kind of harsh, but I really think if you look at the life of Jesus, you can see like he had a very clear line. It wasn't that he had to tangibly set boundaries. It wasn't like he said, all right, when the disciples do this, this is what I'm going to do. Or I'm not available from this hour to this hour. Or you guys need to do this in this column. Here's my column. It wasn't like he had to do that. What he did have to do was understand 100% who he was and whose he was, and the power within him. And then as he went through his day, he was constantly training people on how to treat him. He was training people on, like, I'm the answer for you. He was training people on, say, I'm teaching you right now. He was training people like, here's how to operate apart from me. Always because he knew who he was. So if you have a hard time setting boundaries, it may not be the boundaries that are a problem. It may be that you are not 100% clear on who you are, on your identity. Because think about it, think about your relationship with your kids. Think about your relationship with your spouse. Think about your relationship with your coworkers. You're always training people on how to treat you. So if you always go back over and correct them, they know, oh, okay, I don't have to perform at my best. If you're always reprimanding them, then they're thinking, I can never get things right around this person. So you really have to think, like, when you know who you are, you don't have to get so freaked out about the confrontation, because you really don't have any confrontation. Because people just read your energy and they're like, oh, don't mess with her. Don't mess with them. Like, she knows who she is. She's not going to be fazed on if she gets your approval or not. So we don't need approval. All we need to know is our identity. You got that? So if you want approval, here's the thing. If you want approval, you will always have a hard time with confrontation. Get that in you. If you seek approval, you will always be uncomfortable with confrontation. You will always have to deal with confrontation. But if you're not seeking approval from anyone other than your Heavenly Father, confrontation is nothing. You don't even have to set boundaries, because you have been approved. You've been set apart. You know you're highly favored. You know you're blessed. You know that everything you touch will prosper. So let the world do whatever they want. You don't have to set boundaries. You just exert who you are, and the boundaries are just set. So be strong. Be confident. Know who you are. Know the power of God inside you goes before you. It hems you in with His love. You are protected. You are already approved of. You don't need to seek it from any man. You already got it from your Heavenly Father. Praise Jesus. Leave a comment and let me know if this has helped you. Oh, there's a beautiful butterfly. Oh my gosh, hold on. Did you see it? Did you see that butterfly? That was so cool. I just had to show you. Oh, he just flew away. You know what? I think that butterfly is a symbol right now telling you break out, break out, break out, break out. Something is stifling you. and the thing that you feel is stifling you and is too hard and is too heavy and is too tight, it was necessary for God to do what he's doing in your life. Your breakout time is right here. Know who you are. Break out of that cocoon, baby. Break out of that chrysalis. It is time. You are to fly. You are to soar through life. So receive that message right now. Receive it right now. You're already approved of. It was necessary. The tightness, the constriction was necessary to do that mighty work in your life. I believe it. Give me a thumbs up if you believe it too. If you believe that your time to soar is right now. Love you so much. Be blessed like crazy.